Welcome to a story that will give you a new perspective on life. This is not just a lesson about history or cars. It is a story about the power of belief. Imagine a person who refused to give up, even when everything went wrong. This is the journey of a man who started with nothing, no money, no help, and no special connections. People laughed at him. They said, "You are only a farm boy. Why are you wasting your time? We have horses, we don't need your machines." But Henry Ford did not care about the critics. He had a dream in his heart. He felt he was born to create something that would change the world forever. Before Henry, travel was slow and very expensive. Only rich people could buy cars. Henry changed that. He made cars simple and cheap so that every regular worker could own one. He changed how we live and how we move. But this story is also about how he struggled with failure and loneliness. By listening to this story, you will learn how to build your own success and practice your English at the same time. Let's look at how it all began. Part 1. The Boy Who Loved Engines. Henry Ford was born on July 30th, 1863, on a quiet farm in Michigan. Life there was simple and slow. There was no electricity and no modern noise. His father was a farmer from Ireland, and his mother, Mary, was the heart of the home. Henry was the oldest of 6 children. He had to wake up early to feed animals, carry water, and cut wood. But Henry didn't like farm work. He kept asking, "Why do we do everything so slowly by hand? There must be a better way." When he was 12, he saw a steam engine on a road. He was amazed. It was a machine doing the work of many men in just a few minutes. From that day, he became obsessed with how things work. He began collecting broken watches and old metal parts. By age 15, he built his own small engine in a wooden shed. His father wanted him to be a farmer, but Henry's heart was made of steel and gears, not plants and soil. When Henry was 13, his mother died. This was the saddest moment of his life. She was the only person who supported his dreams. Henry felt alone, but he remembered her encouragement. At age 16, he left the farm and walked toward the city of Detroit. He wanted to find machines. He worked as an apprentice in a factory for 12 hours a day. He didn't have much money, but he didn't care. At night, he studied books and learned everything about engines. He was preparing for his destiny. Part 2. Failure and the First Car. In the 1880s, Detroit was full of factories and smoke. While most people were using horses, Henry was dreaming of a carriage that could move by itself. People told him he was crazy. They said engines were dangerous. But Henry didn't listen. He worked at the Edison Illuminating Company during the day, and at night, he went to a small shed behind his house to build his dream. He worked until 3 o'clock in the morning. His hands were dirty with oil and his body was tired, but he was happy. In 1896, he finished his first car, the quadricycle. It had 4 bicycle wheels and a small gasoline engine. When he wanted to take it out of the shed, he realized the car was too wide for the door. So, he took an axe and broke the wall of his own shed. He drove through the streets of Detroit at 20 miles per hour. People were shocked. It was the beginning of a revolution. Later, he met the famous inventor Thomas Edison. Edison told him, "Your car is the future. Don't stop." Henry started his first company in 1899, but it was a total failure. The cars were too expensive and not good enough. The company closed, and people called Henry a failure. But he didn't quit. He built a fast racing car called the 999. In 1901, his car won a big race. Suddenly, investors wanted to work with him again. Henry had a new mission now. I will build a car for everyone, not just for the rich. Part 3. The Model T and the Factory Revolution. In 1903, the Ford Motor Company was born. Henry wanted a car that was strong and cheap. After many tries, he created the Model T in 1908. It was a simple car that anyone could learn to drive. It became very popular. Farmers and teachers were now buying cars for the first time. But Henry wanted to make them even faster and cheaper. In 1913, he invented the moving assembly line. Before this, workers moved around the car. Now, the car moved to the workers on a belt. Each worker did only one small job. Because of this, a car that used to take 12 hours to build now took only 90 minutes. The price of the Model T dropped from $850 to $260. Henry also did something very famous in 1914. He started paying his workers $5 a day. This was double the normal pay. Other bosses were angry, but Henry was smart. He knew that if his workers were happy and had money, they would work harder and buy the cars they were building. Henry didn't just change the car industry. He changed how the whole world works. Part 4. Success and Sadness. Henry became one of the richest men in the world. He built a giant factory called the River Rouge Complex. It was like a city that made everything for the cars. But as he got older, Henry became very stubborn. He stopped listening to other people's ideas. He thought he was always right. He famously said, "You can have any color car you want, as long as it is black." This caused problems with his son, Edsel. Edsel was a kind man who loved beautiful car designs. He wanted the company to be modern, but Henry was very tough on him. He criticized Edsel's ideas and tried to control everything. Edsel was the president of the company, but Henry didn't let him lead freely. This created a lot of stress for Edsel. During World War II, the Ford Company built planes and tanks to help the army. But during this time, Edsel became very sick. In 1943, Edsel died at only 49 years old. Henry was heartbroken. He realized that his pride and pressure had hurt his son. The old lion of Detroit was now very sad and alone. Part 5. The Last Days and the Legacy. In 1945, Henry's grandson, Henry Ford II, took over the company. Henry was now an old man, and his mind was tired. He moved to his quiet home, Fairlane. He spent his days walking in nature and watching the birds. He was far from the noise of the factories he had built. On April 7, 1947, a big storm hit the city. The electricity went out in his house. Henry Ford died by the light of a candle, just like the world he was born in. Thousands of people came to his funeral to say goodbye. They weren't just there for a rich man. They were there for the man who gave them the freedom to travel. 12 life lessons from Henry Ford. Start small. A small shed can lead to a global empire. Make your own path. If you don't have a way, build one yourself. Results matter most. Let your work speak for you. Failure is a lesson. Every mistake is a chance to start again more smartly. Help the people. Real success comes from making life better for others. Don't let pride win. Success is good, but don't lose your family because of your ego. Systems are powerful. Good organization, like the assembly line, makes progress fast. Value your workers. When you respect your team, they help you win. Trust the next generation. Give young people the chance to lead. Relationships are important. Don't sacrifice love for power. Creators live forever. People remember those who build things. Believe in your dream. If a farm boy can change the world, you can too. Henry Ford was not perfect, but he was a dreamer who worked hard. He showed us that even if you start with nothing, you can leave a legacy that the world will never forget. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget to subscribe to English Growth Way for more stories of transformation. Keep building and keep believing.